Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into a huge topic that can make or break any development team. Technical debt. Whether you are experienced developer or a beginner, technical debt is something that eventually affects everyone. But what if I told you there are ways to avoid falling into that trap? First, let's define what technical debt is. It's like taking shortcuts when building a house. You could skip some quality work here and there, and your house will still stand for a while. But eventually, you will need to go back and fix those shortcuts, or the house will collapse. In software development, tech debt happens when teams choose speed over quality, usually to meet deadlines or push out features quickly. And while some technical debt is intentional and manageable, unchecked debt can lead to a code base that is slow, hard to maintain, and difficult to scale. So, how do you know when you are falling into a technical debt trap? Here are some key signs to look out for. Constant hotfixes. You are spending more time fixing bugs than developing new features. Slow feature rollouts. Even simple changes take forever to implement because of the complexity of the code base. Lower developer morale. Experienced developers are leaving, junior developers feel stress, and the whole team is stuck in a constant cycle of fixing urgent problems. Fragile systems. Small changes cause unpredictable system-wide issues, and the lack of documentation and standards. Different parts of the system use completely different coding practices, making collaboration difficult. What happens if you let technical debt build up? Well, let's get to a point where every new feature feels like a huge challenge. The system becomes too hard to manage, and you start hearing words like rewrite and complete rebuild more than often you would like. We couldn't keep up with our competitors. The system became so fragile that it crashed more than it worked. We couldn't grow, and the infrastructure cost skyrocketed. And if you ignore it for too long, your company might face big problems like not meeting customer demands, losing major deals, or even going out of the business. Okay, enough doom and gloom. How can you avoid this trap? Here are 6 practical strategies you can start using today. Address technical debt early. Don't overlook the warning signs. Technical debt is nothing to be ashamed of. It's a normal part of development. The important thing is to recognize when it's building up and make a plan to tackle it over time. Refactor as you go. Instead of allowing technical debt to accumulate, tackle it bit by bit. Improve the code gradually. If you are already fixing a bug or adding a feature, take a moment to clean up the code as you go. Balance features with maintenance. Developers often struggle between building a new feature and addressing technical debt. The solution? Allocate time in every sprint for both. Prioritize high impact debt alongside key features. Automate where possible. Manual processes add complexity. Whether it's testing, deployments, or code reviews, automate it. Automation reduces technical debt by ensuring consistent, repeatable process. Invest in proper documentation. A well-documented code base is like a treasure map for your team. Without it, new developers will struggle and mistakes will compound over time. Leverage microservices smartly. If your system is large, consider breaking it down into a manageable microservices, but don't overdo it. Too many microservices can also become a nightmare. Stick to a balance. Now let's talk about a popular strategy for dealing with legacy code, the strangler pick pattern. Imagine you have an old clunky system. Instead of tearing everything down, you slowly replace parts of it. You start with one component and gradually refactor or replace it with a brand new, better version while the old system still runs. This allows you to keep things running without the risk of complete overwrite, which could disrupt the business. It's a smart way to reduce technical debt incrementally. One of the hardest parts of dealing with technical debt is convincing non-technical stakeholders why it's so important. Now here's the strategy to tackle this part also. Translate technical debt into business terms. Instead of saying, we need time to refactor, explain how technical debt is slowing down feature releases or increasing cost. Showcase small wins. Start by fixing smaller visible problems that deliver measurable impact, like faster feature development or fewer outages. Get your team on board. The more your team agrees on the importance of fixing technical debt, the easier it will be to explain it to leadership together. So that's how you can avoid falling into a technical debt trap. Remember, it's all about balance, delivering features while managing technical debt along the way. If you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thank you guys. Tata. Bye.